Hey guys, today we're going to talk smack about my least favorite Sonic game of all time, Sonic Colors. If you're not new to the channel, then you might already know how much I love Sonic Colors. I put out a video last week talking about why I strongly dislike the game, but here I want to go a little bit more in depth. Last week's video was more of a introduction to my hatred I have for this game. So today, we're going to dive into the nitty-gritty. But before we summon the eternal wrath for my most beloved Sonic game of all time, I want to ask you guys to check out my upcoming live-action anime series I've been working on for about 2 years now. I know there's no such genre as live-action anime, it just doesn't make any sense, but I like calling it that since over 1 million people recognize that term on TikTok apparently. My Neck, which is the name of the project, is a feature-length 6-episode comedy parody show thing that takes place in a world where the art of slapping the back of your opponent's neck is the idea of life, death, art, and sport. By the time you see this video, it may or may not be out already, but regardless, go check out and subscribe to our second channel, Real Life Glitch Entertainment, for all updates regarding the project and other ones like it. I think if you're into anime and silly humor like from Monty Python or any of the Mel Brooks films, you'll like our live action anime, My Neck. But for now, we're gonna get into the video. Number 1. The story. The story of Sonic Colors follows Sonic and Tails as they investigate Eggman's newly created theme park located in space, where he's claimed that he's turned a new leaf. They learn that Eggman is actually trying to use the power of a species known as Wisps for his latest evil plot. The story is a lot more lighthearted and toned down than previous Sonic games, but that isn't the problem I have with it. The problem comes from the execution and writing. On paper, the summary for Sonic Colors' plot is actually kinda solid. It's simple and straight to the point, but everything that happens and how it happens takes what could have been something decent and throws it in the trash, burns it, runs it over with a truck, and then somehow burns the remains of the already burnt remains. Ken Pontac and Warren Graff, the new writers of the Sonic games, are the worst things to happen to the Sonic the Hedgehog series. Many fans refer to this as the meta era since most of their jokes are self-aware and break the fourth wall. But their jokes are so bad, you'll want to smash your head into 4 walls. Nothing is set up, things kinda just happen, and because it's Sonic the Hedgehog with established roots already, you're expected to care. Most of the story are characters just standing around either making terrible jokes or spouting exposition. There's a moment when Tails gets possessed by Eggman, and that's seen as one of the worst things I've ever seen.
Tails, buddy, are you alright?
Where am I? Why is my nose hair tingling?
There's no stakes, emotional investment, character development, nothing. This is a staple of Pontac's writing, where the entirety of a scene will play out in one go, rather than have any build-ups or payoffs to it. Like each scene is its own B-movie, and does nothing to contribute to the story as a whole. Nothing exciting happens, and when something does happen, it's ruined by awful jokes. If you can even call them that since they're not funny. This does not feel like a Sonic and Tails adventure. It feels like it was written by a grade school student who was held back for 3 years and tried to write a story for their 2-year-old sibling. Does Sonic team think kids are this fucking stupid to find this funny? And the rest of the writing is exactly like this, if not worse. Sonic just feels like a pompous asshole who doesn't give a shit about anyone else but himself. Okay, like here, in this moment, the aliens tell Sonic what their species is called, and he literally says he's gonna call them aliens instead. That's like if your best friend asks to be called Mikey, but you tell him no, I'm gonna call you Michael. Like, it's not even a nickname, it's just rude. And this is Sonic's whole personality. How can I care about a character who doesn't respect the entirety of another race? Tails is also equally as useless. Him and Eggman are just there to spout exposition and give Sonic something to play off regarding his bad jokes. If you're looking for any lore, or even average storytelling, you better go look in another place, cause it ain't here. But not everyone cares about the story. What about the gameplay? Number 2. The gameplay. Sonic Colors takes all your control away and plays the game for you. Most of the game feels automated, specifically the 3D sections. Some people will say that's how all Sonic Boost titles feel, but have you ever played Sonic Unleashed or Sonic Generations? Even Sonic Unleashed for the Wii gives you more control over Sonic. You actually have to master the controls and have input commands to dodge obstacles and hit bosses. You're not watching Sonic move on the screen, you're actually controlling him in those games, and you can instantly feel the immense difference if you play them back to back. Sonic Colors strips that control away and pushes the player in the direction that the game needs you to go. There's no room to explore because Sonic is basically locked into always moving forward. Also, what the hell is with Sonic's jump? To get max height out of Sonic's jump, you have to hold down the jump button, which is awful because Sonic has a double jump, so your first instinct is to mash the button twice to reach harder areas. But if you do this, Sonic won't jump to his max height before you can double jump, and you'll often miss jumps because of this. Now most games have a similar mechanic where you jump higher based on how quickly you tap the jump button. But in Sonic Colors, there's this really awkward delay where you have to hold your finger on the jump button for like half a second to reach your maximum jumping height, and it's a true annoyance to get used to, especially because most platformers don't play like this, especially if they have a double jump. It's like someone new accidentally programmed the jump this way and added it in there because they thought it was unique. Well, newsflash, there's a reason why games don't play this way, and it's the same reason why video games today don't control like Bubsy 3D, because it doesn't fucking work. Let's not forget about the 2D sections. They're not the worst thing in Sonic history, and in fact, if 90% of the game wasn't in 2D, it would actually be kind of fun. But there are so many of them, and they play like beta stages meant to test Sonic's physics and momentum. You know those test areas you see when video games are being developed? Yeah, most of the stages are basically those just added into the core game. They feel like amateur Mario Maker levels that just have a bunch of random stuff in there and aren't really tied to a theme. Just get over obstacles and make it to the goal. There's no sense of discovery, wonder, or magic, which makes the entire game feel pointless and bare, which brings me to my next point. Number 3, the level design. The entire level design team needs to be fired. About 90 to 95% of all the levels in this game feel like those bonus levels you need to complete in order to win a special item or something. While in 3D, the game takes all control away from the player, and we're basically just supposed to hold one button while tapping the analog stick left and right. There's no challenge to it. However, in the 2D sections, you have a little more control, but still basically move in one direction. The design of the actual levels is atrocious. It's like a toddler learned their basic shapes, and that's how we ended up with Sonic Colors. Everything is extremely blocky, as if this was a fan-made Sonic level maker game. Slopes go straight up and straight down, and it doesn't even feel like you're in an actual location. There's no storytelling within the levels. It's just get from point A to point B with a bunch of random nonsensical things thrown in. The times that there are cool things like a roller coaster or a fleet of ships popping in like a Star Wars film, you have little to no control over Sonic and don't interact with any of these set pieces in the way you'd hope. The game's platforms are literally just clean-cut shapes. You're not taking down a fleet of Eggman ships or trying to avoid roller coasters while grinding on the rails. You're just jumping on squares and blocks and running on straight planes over different backgrounds. I swear that's all that changes in these levels are the damn backgrounds. There are a few cool things like riding inside this roller coaster or running on this path that appears from nothing, but it's all automated. The game is controlling Sonic and you're basically watching the game. They might as well just made these parts QuickTime events, because that's as much interaction as you're going to have with these set pieces. Number 4, the Wisps. Maybe my biggest complaint with the Wisp is the fact that they keep appearing in more and more Sonic games, especially ones where they don't make any sense. Like the Wisps themselves aren't terrible, but they're nothing to write home over. They essentially turned Sonic into a new form, like something straight out of a Nintendo game. Wait, no look, it's practically from Mario and Yoshi's Island. They're nothing special and do very little to add anything meaningful. I mean, the best one is the pink wisp because the concept of using it is kinda cool. Having the ability to climb and traverse in this way is pretty neat, but the rest of them are useless. Like these could have just been Sonic's regular arsenal of moves. The Scion Wisp is basically the Lightspeed Dash, an ancient light from Sonic Adventure. The Rocket Wisp could have been a springboard, or literally a rocket like in Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. And the rest of the Wisps just offer a different way to traverse, whether it be in the water, hovering, or in the ground. If the Wisps were contained in just this game, I might not have much of a problem with them, but they keep appearing in everything now, which brings me to my last and final point. Number 5, the new direction of Sonic. My last issue with Sonic Colors is the new direction for the blue blur. After Sonic Colors, games got easier and more aimed towards a younger audience. While this isn't a huge issue, it's the way it goes about it. The game treats you like a child, but not understanding that children are actually smart. SpongeBob episodes have better content, themes, and stories in them than Sonic Colors. The game feels like it's constantly talking to you like a grown-ass man speaking in a child's voice. Or like that one friend that thinks they're funny and constantly needs attention, so they're always telling unfunny jokes and opening their mouth to hear themselves speak. Yeah, this is that, but in game form. This game started a new direction for Sonic in tone and feel. My theory is that because the reception of Sonic Colors was pretty decent, Takashi Iizuka thought that this was a great direction for Sonic in terms of story and tone. I mean, we stopped getting more serious games after Unleashed, really after Sonic Colors. I also believe it's why we don't see more games like Sonic Adventure. After Sonic 06 flopped, I think Sonic Team thought their misstep came from the gameplay and story. Sure, the story of Sonic 06 wasn't the greatest, but it took itself serious, similar to the adventure games, and once Sonic Team saw the game fail, they believed it to also be because of the gameplay, story elements, and general direction of the game, therefore doing a complete 180 with Sonic Colors. This meta direction for Sonic started with Sonic Colors, extended over to Sonic Boom, and even the mainline Sonic games. For some reason, the success of Sonic Colors warranted this silly new, child-friendly direction that just doesn't fit the mainline Sonic games in my opinion. I don't need to be treated like a 1-year-old while playing a franchise I grew up with since the 90s. My major fisticuffs with this direction is that it's become the staple for the mainline Sonic games. I know Sega hates continuity, but they could at least break up the games for newer and older time fans, and I'm not referring to classic and modern Sonic. At this point, everything before Sonic Colors and after Sonic 3 and Knuckles feels like its own era. I suppose my extreme hatred for this game really comes from what this game was responsible for. The game standing on its own merit as its own separate thing, like if we stripped all the context from it being a mainline Sonic game, the game itself is maybe average at best, meaning that if it wasn't Sonic, or if it was a Sonic spin-off game like the Storybook series, then maybe I wouldn't dislike it so much. But because Sonic games would follow a similar direction with its bad writing, horrible storytelling, terrible characters, the lack of personality and charm, bad controls of Sonic, the damn Wisp returning in every game, this is why I have so much hatred for the game. It's not even just the game itself, but what it would ultimately do for the future of the Sonic franchise. It feels like this game was responsible for the identity of the Sonic franchise we see today. And it isn't an ideal one, granted that it treats kids like they're straight up stupid. With such a powerful and influential brand like Sonic, you'd think they'd put more time into at least teaching kids something meaningful. You'd think they put more time into trying to captivate the minds of young kids and inspire them, since it seems to be their new core audience now, rather than old Sonic fan fucks like me. But instead, we get mindless dumb jokes, stories that are forgettable, and gameplay that plays itself. If I was a kid, this would not be entertaining to me. It'd probably piss me off, undermining my little ass intelligence and shit. I'm not saying we need to go back to the older games of Sonic. I'm saying the character and brand should be evolving, but instead it's gone in the other direction. If we look at Sonic's counterpart Mario, it's become such a well-known and well-loved franchise, not just because of its abundance of different games, but because of its evolution and accessibility to newer and longtime fans. Mario has a very specific identity and it has grown from it. It appeals to everyone, and doesn't treat you like you just got out of a coma. Instead of embracing where it's come from, the Sonic brand tries to forget its past and reinvent the wheel by only dipping its toes into new ideas instead of going all out and embracing them. Again, with a brand as big as Sonic, it shouldn't be something mindless. The Sonic games we grew up with, both 2D and 3D, sparked imagination and changed people's lives. How do I know? Because the brand is still alive and has one of the most passionate, wholesome, and emotionally invested fan bases I've ever seen. Sonic Colors and most games after it lost that magic. I hope the next Sonic game will change things around and bring it back. But that's really all I have to say for now. Would love to hear your thoughts on the Sonic series as a whole. What your favorite Sonic game is, and what era of Sonic got you into the franchise. Don't forget to comment and subscribe for more Sonic videos in the future. I'll try to make them more positive. And until then, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.